Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and welcome to another rant time. This time we discuss the new Nintendo 3DS. Now my friend TrueFireMac actually told me about this a couple nights ago, and we discussed it, and so after that I got into my giant phase, By the way, I'll link his channel in the description below. I got into this phase where I started to research the hell out of it, and it turns out, what he said was right, and what I looked up into was unfortunately right. So if you guys haven't heard, guys and gals haven't heard here, is Nintendo's got this new 3DS. The new Nintendo 3DS, I'm not just adding the new there, that's actually part of the fucking branding. I know, it's fucking stupid. But here's the thing about it, alright? It's sort of a scam, if you will. It's not really a new 3DS, it's actually a fucking new console. And let me tell you why that is. If you don't know, Xenoblade Chronicles, it's getting a port, I believe. I'm still really hazy on that information. It is a port, though, from the Wii game, and it's being ported to the 3DS, but that's all cool and all when I first heard it, but here's the thing. The 3DS that I currently own, which is the original 3DS that I got at launch, the Ambassador 3DS as I want to call it, won't run this game. Alright, this game is only for the new Nintendo 3DS. That means if I buy Xenoblade Chronicles, not Xenoblade, that'd be a cool name idea, but if I bought that game, alright, even with the 3DS, packaging or whatever on it, right, I cannot run it on my current 3DS. I can't run it on a 3DS XL. The only thing it'll run on is the new Nintendo 3DS or the new Nintendo 3DS LL, which is the XL version. So, why is that? Well, they've got a new chipset inside there, which sports a better CPU and better graphical capabilities. So this isn't really a 3DS, it's not really that, it's actually a new system now. Okay, yeah, it can run 3DS games, I kind of expect it to if it's going to hold that branding, but if my 3DS can't run its games, then no. See, Nintendo did this with the DSi, I didn't have the DSi, I always had the DS Lite, because the DS Lite was gangster. The DSi was basically an enhancement of the DS. It had a better, graphical, it had better graphical and it had better computational power. That was to be expected. And that came through in the form of its mini games that you could download from the DSi store. But the games for the DSi and the DS Lite were all the same. Yes, there were points where you had DSi enhanced titles. One that comes to mind is Pokemon White or Black, where my buddies had the DSi version. Not the DSi version, they bought the game, and when they put it into their DSi, some game features, such as the transceiver, could actually allow for video calling between other, DSi users. I couldn't do that because my DS Lite didn't have any camera functionality, so, that wasn't there. But for the most part, aside from the social features and stuff, the game was the same. You could still play it. Now they release Xenoblade Chronicles, which I would have fucking gotten for the 3DS. That game is a good game. I'd love to have it on the go. But I can't play it on my 3DS, and I refuse to buy a new Nintendo 3DS, alright? That's BS, alright? It's been 3-4 years, I think, since the 3DS has been out, and now they're just going to release a new system on us. And this is the trend, and if this goes, if this thing sells like hotcakes, which, I guess it will, because the 3DS is a pretty decent unit, and, people do like it. I mean, it's definitely... what's it competing with? iPhones and Android and stuff? I don't think PS Vita is proper competition considering its sales-wise. It's not really there. But you got one fucking system, alright, that just happened to release a new console! And they're lying about it! Alright, like fuck it. Hell, I've even, and so far this is only in Japan, but it's gonna come stateside anyways. It's gonna come to Europe and stuff. In fact, speaking of Europe, they got a bundle over there with Smash Brothers, alright, for the 3DS. And you might think, hey, maybe they have the new 3DS in there. Maybe they should fucking throw that in. And nope, it's an XL unit. So, you have a new system that's coming out, alright, and I know you're not releasing it internationally, but you're gonna release a bundle for one of your hottest games and not give the newest 3DS with it? You're gonna give the XL version? Alright? Even though you have an XL variant for the new 3DS, that's how confusing it is. There's like there's 5 3DSs, one of them is a 2DS. So we go from 3D with a bigger screen, fuck 3D, no one wants it anymore, 2DS, and it's like, you know what, fuck, we want 3D again, so here you go. And you know what, here's a bigger screen too. And the other thing it has is the buttons on it, the Y, X, A, B, they're all colored to match the Super Nintendo or Super Famicom buttons. The color scheme there. And the other thing is they have a little analog nub, which is supposed to be the Circle Pad Pro, but you look at it. Come on, it looks like a fucking volume knob on some old radio. Come on. Alright, like how are you gonna sit there, play fucking Metal Gear Solid 3 if you happen to have it with that? Come on. Alright, like, let's be honest. Yeah, I haven't used it. It could be really, really comfortable, but come on, look at it. Look at how tiny that thing is. Come on. My friend True also speculated that it could run GameCube games on it. They might be using it for that, and I kind of disagree with that. I mean, yeah, it can run Xenoblade Chronicles, but emulating a game is fucking different, you know? I mean, it's sort of why the Vita doesn't really have PS2 games on it. I mean, yeah, it's a powerful handheld, but, fucking high-end PCs can't even emulate PS2 games properly, and neither can the PS2 emulator on the PS3 entirely at this point, even though that is created by Sony, so you think they'd have the utmost knowledge on the, fucking proper interpreters for that stuff. But looking at the new 3DS, I actually kind of urge you people not to buy it. Because you know what? Say this thing sells. Then the Wii U that we've fucking adopted. I got a Wii U, alright? Now, I don't really play my Wii U that often because there's really not many games that are out for the Wii U. I mean, Mario Kart 8, it was cool and all, but, that's not something I'm playing for months on end. Super Smash Brothers, I mean, now it's finally coming, 3DS first, and the Wii U, I'll get it there. But what if they released a new Wii U? In fact, we heard about that. Remember that health shit they were thinking about for the Wii? Yeah, what if the new Wii U comes out? It'll run your Wii U games, but there's going to be some exclusive titles. And then, 4 years from now, if they do release a new Wii U and the new 3DS comes out and they sell, what if they just kind of abandon the old 3DS? I mean, they probably won't, let's be honest here. That'd be a real dick move. But it's a possibility. And are we really going down that path where, we gotta upgrade every 3 years? I know people like to throw the analogy, but cell phones do it. iPhones do it. Android phones do it. But see, those are smartphones, and even then you don't really have to upgrade them every year, you know what I mean? Like, unless you're a really intense tech enthusiast, you're gonna buy the newest phone every year. I get it. But a smartphone does infinitely more things than what a 3DS can do, you know what I mean? Like, when I'm traveling, if I go anywhere, I don't like bringing my 3DS and Vita with me, and I'll give you a reason. I don't like bringing a shit ton of stuff in my pockets. The reason I can bring my smartphone and I'm comfortable with it is I can do some gaming on it. I mean, I play XCOM and San Andreas on it. I mean, that's a fuck ton of awesome games, plus the emulators. But then I also got, the smartphone I can live with because I use it to call people, I use it to send emails, I use it for business, I use it for personal stuff, I use it for everything. Alright, so even if that is upgraded every year, I don't have to get the upgrade. It's not like the software is just instantly going to stop working. Yes, that happens. If you have a really old iPhone or an Android device, it's not going to run the newer apps or anything. That happens, but that happens after such a long amount of time. At that point you kind of have to upgrade. So that's something right there. But a gaming handheld device like a 3DS, it was designed for the purpose of pretty much keeping that longevity and keeping a uniform control on what the specs were for that entire device. That's why 3DS gaming works better than iPhone gaming or Android gaming for me. Because when you have an iOS or Android device, there's so many variants of it. Even an iPhone, you got like 7 variants. And even though it's easier to control on that, because of the variancy, the graphical and all that other stuff, the computation stuff, everything, keeping that equal is harder. Whereas if you have a 3DS, it's really easy to code for it. Every 3DS is pretty much the same except for the new one that's coming out, which is a new fucking console. So I want to ask you before I fucking throw my blood pressure through the roof, what do you think about the 3DS? Think about it like this. If Microsoft did it with the Xbox One, they made the Xbox One 2 or some shit, even though that's a stupid name, but, Microsoft's pretty much on top of the stupid names. Think about it like that. People would chew them out. I kind of think Nintendo's doing that same thing, and to be honest, they deserve to be chewed out on this. Because, let's be honest here, it's kind of a slap in the face for anyone that adopted the 3DS early, Like, after 3 years, games like Xenoblade Chronicles, well, fuck it. You gotta buy the new system. Shit, man. Alright, that's how we roll. Alright, think about it. I'm trying not to be, offensive as I can to the Nintendo side, because I like Nintendo, but there's some things that I just cannot accept, so I want to ask you what you think about it. Tell me in the comments below. Tell me if you think the new 3DS is a good idea and why, and if you think it's a bad idea, tell me why. Don't just go in the comments and say, fuck Nintendo, or Nintendo for life, West Side, alright, So yeah, this is me, Mudahar, and if you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe. This is me, Mudahar, and I am out.